Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk about the top 100 songs of the year of 2024. This year, to be honest, is one of the most interesting years in music history. Well, I've been living, not that much really. But, we had rap beefs, we had a lot of good songs, bad songs, a lot of bad songs, a lot of remixes and off-brand, and then regurgitation of songs from a few years ago to get popular again because of TikTok. So, a bunch of different stuff. So today we're going to be breaking down my top 100 favorite songs, and the list is interesting. Didn't wasn't quite as I expected when I was going into it, reviewing it for the final time for the draft of the video. So let's get started. Number 100. Jack White has released another good song this year, with another great album. It's called No Name, and it's a great Jack White has a great album, at least this year in 2024. His 2022 album was one of my favorites of that year. So good thing he released another one because if it was up to me, I'd probably put the Tower album on the list, but I had to limit to a few of them, you know. But yeah, it's a good listen, with a good guitar list. 199. And this one has a weird name. It's called Archbishop Harold Holmes. Yeah, by Jack White again. Another pick off the album. I like the little fun format of this one. When it comes to album releases, I can't really put them too high on the list. It depends. A lot of them will stand out much as a single themselves. In a way. Some of them are kind of like more of a vibe in the background when you listen to an album more together. So standalone, it does hold its weight, but do I like it more than others? It's hard to say. It's really hard to rank. But definitely one of the most interesting songs I listened to this year. Number 98. A new artist per se, Chappell, a very popular artist this year. He kind of emerged this year, and he has a lot of good songs like previous. Hot to Go didn't make the list because it's from 2023. That one's pretty catchy. So another song, Good Luck Babe, is the name of it, and it's pretty catchy as well. Kind of got overplayed a little bit, so it's kind of relatively low on the list. But yeah, I have to admit, it's pretty catchy. Another song relatively low on the list is Tommy Winchell's Million Dollar Baby, probably the most overplayed song of the year. It's alright. I have to admit, it's pretty catchy, but the overplaying factor definitely brought it down a bit on my mental I'm waiting. I don't know. I don't know how to say this things, but it's alright. Number 96. David Guetta, One Republic, I Don't Want to Wait. Yeah. This song is supposed to be the war song of the year according to Anthony Fantano. Although music channels put it way low on the list. I didn't say anything wrong with it though. It actually really catchy. I actually like it. I was so confused listening to it. I was like, am I supposed to hate this thing? It's alright though. But relatively low though. It is kind of bland. I would say that they're all right about that. But other than that, I like it. This next one I found on a YouTube release list. Sometimes I check those, a lot of times I have a really small artist, but sometimes you find something interesting. This one is just really catchy with the little electro pop kind of thing, synths. It's alright, I'll recommend it. Bonus and Zebra a different way. It's a live video, interesting title. I recommend small artists, I like checking them out every now and then. Number 94. The Offspring are back. They have a song called "If This Is the Last Time." But this is the last time. That's the name of it. And it's not the best song of the album that's coming up, and it's a good song. It's really catchy. I never say that about a lot of things, but I think they still got the rock power in them, and it's good to see old bands still have pretty good talent still left in them. Number 93. Juice WRLD off his new posthumous album, The Party Never Ends. This is probably the lead single off of it, the War Told song, and the lyrics are kind of profane. Usually don't have a problem with that. It's usually sound first in lyrics, but it's alright. It does bring it down a little bit, but it's still catchy with the vibe and all of that. So I'm not too big on it. End of the day. Number 92. Another album I'm listening to was the Bastille album. The Drawbridge and the Baroness is named this one. Another interesting name. It's alright. I kind of recommend it. What's it called? It doesn't do too much, but it's interesting to listen to. It's kind of like a five to me, but all the other songs I mentioned is kind of like a 5 to 6 range. They're alright. Some additional comments I wanted to make that actually in that song, the chorus is actually worse than the verses. Actually, like the verses better. It is very interesting to my review on that song. So yeah, I wanted to point that out. Next up is Bastille, The Sky and the Paint. I think that's Blue Sky and the Paint. I think that's the lead single off the new album. I'm not sure, but it's slightly better than the last song. But I feel either way on it. It's also a pretty good listen to. A lot of these songs on the list, like I said, don't really care for too much. Once you get closer to the list, I'll definitely give broader and better opinions. The next one is Juice WRLD, Nicki Minaj. It's called Insecurities. Insecure exactly, but it's actually called AGATS2. Okay, but you know what I mean. But whatever. Name aside, it's definitely catchy. No, but I'm not too big on it. But it's alright. A good 6 or 7 maybe. If I had to give a award for an artist that had my opinion changed in a wide way this year, it was probably the artist Token. His artist "Why Do You Want to Wake Up" is probably the only song and the only song that made this sour list. And I actually discovered kind of late this year. I was like, that's an interesting one. A lot of his lyrics are very questionable. A lot of his song choices are questionable. He made a song about Donald Trump almost getting assassinated. It was kind of weird. I don't want to go into all of the stuff he did, and made a song on a meme, very forgetful meme, one we don't want to forget, but whatever. But this song, it doesn't do anything wrong. It does. It sounds. It's a good thing to put in the background. Good thing to listen to. Definitely recommend it. But yeah, my opinion is definitely wildly varied on him this year. But you know. Next up, Juice WRLD's Both Ways. I feel both ways on this actually. It's it's a good vibe again. About 5, 6, or 7. Something I like the beat. It flows pretty well. Next up, a first country appearance on the list. Bailey Zimmerman, Hell or High Water. Excuse me. You know, Once again, it's a country song. It doesn't do too much. It doesn't do too bad. It's alright. And that's the best I can say about songs like that. It's a nice song to listen to the background. Nice song to listen to. You know. Next up, one of the more viral songs on our list, Sticky Batata Cradle, a recent one, 2 months ago it was released. And the song is pretty good for the most part. Only that has such a wet feature on it, it really ruins the song. Definitely brings it down a lot of spots. Glow Will's part actually is pretty solid, even though I didn't really care for a catalog. And Tyler Wayne's part also delivered as well. Definitely has probably a 7 out of 10, despite its flaws. Another song, rap song that's a little, profane too much for its own good. Tobia Twins by Travis Scott. It's definitely a good beat. I've been into hip hop a little more this year, I had to admit, but it's alright. Next up, ASAP Rocky Hijack. He's not the first time he's gonna be on this list. Definitely one of the artists that's been going on me recently that I didn't know anything about previously. And this one is alright. I know it's a good maybe 7 or 8 out of 10. Definitely a good thing to listen to and on the road on the radio was a radio hit. You know, and yeah, Eric Chance and Ryan saying this isn't Minecraft. I actually play Minecraft. Minecraft a lot. It's pretty fun. You should try it. Next up at 83. Next up at 83 is Eminem and JID with Fuel. I can't believe I missed this one. It's a good song though. Eminem and JID best verses. Some of the best verses of the year, best flows. That would be my top 30 if I initially planned putting on the list, but somehow I didn't. Also, I can't believe how I missed that one. I try to, I try to make sure I've had checked my list, but still have some misses here. As well, I open up this Diddy on that track, which I support, and that's a good way getting out of me, and that gets some bonus points for sure. Probably, yeah, probably for doing this video, excuse me, I've been, while doing this video, I've been studying a lot more albums, so I'm like 14 minutes is an album I listen to. Yeah, so it's 14 minutes of short snippets and songs. Some of them don't really stand on songs exactly, but none of them exceed over 2.5 minutes really. But yeah, this one, Thick Rick, another weird name. But it's a definitely good, catchy little thing that repeats itself a little bit. Not really a full-fledged song. A lot of the things on the record doesn't really kind of do several parts in. I think it's all combined to one whole song. So I think that's the idea of the project, which I do kind of like. But if you want to study them individually, then that's kind of the lackluster thing about that. But good song though, definitely 7. Number 81. Daisy the Great is an artist of two artists, and it's a really interesting pair of artists I've been listening to since 2022. I've been really high on them. They only have 41,000 subscribers on YouTube, relatively small. They did have an AGL collab 2 years back, so they should be bigger, but really solid music. Song all the people really good to listen to. I like all of the releases for the most part, and that one's definitely my favorite of the year from them. Say what you want about vocals too, but it has a lot of good songs. Well, not a lot, but a few good songs. You have to definitely consider a few more great songs in there. I think about it. If I got to include one of the songs on there, I'll definitely put that in honorable mentions for sure. But making this top 100 list, definitely considered. A lot of songs and took a lot of songs off the hand. I didn't really care for, but this song with the definitely with the backing track and beat definitely makes me like it. Number 79. Not only consider myself a main fan of a mainstream, that's a tongue twister, but but there's a few songs that surprisingly made it on the list. Another viral song on the list is 360 Patrol XCX on a Blood album. I didn't really care for it honestly, even though that's a fan favorite among people this year. And maybe it's not real for me, but I don't know. Not too much of the technical background stuff, but I think it's pretty good though. Doesn't do too much things wrong. I really just like the hook on it. It's really catchy though. I'd have to admit that. Well, it's the most catchiest song of the year. That probably is most overplayed at the same time. Probably has to go to Not Wake Up by Kendrick Lamar. Probably, you know, that was so overplayed. But you still have to admit it was still a solid song at least. But you know, say what you want, but the Drake and Kendrick beef, I'm somewhat neutral on it. Yeah, a lot of mixed opinions about not it's too much for one video. Number 77, Too Fast by Future. Another solid rap song that it's a good thing to listen to down the street. Uh, you know, it doesn't. I just like a good beat on it, so definitely a nice thing to listen to in the background for sure. Another Kendrick Lamar song is called "Whacked Out Mules." I thought it was called "Waste Out Mules." That's one of the way it's spelled. But it's another solid track. I really like beat switches, which I feel like he's best at, making a song that has a lot of different parts on it with hard hitting flows. You know, I definitely like it better than Not Like Us in my opinion. Definitely my second favorite on the album. You know, but my favorite is actually right ahead of it. Number 75. TV Off by Kendrick Lamar. Hopefully you don't turn like your TV off while listening to my video, but I like the really good a hook that catches you right in the beginning, the really good intro, and then the song doesn't slow down ever since then. Even screams must it out loud, and that's actually sounds pretty good despite the may sound weird when you if you don't haven't listened to it yet. But definitely his G next album. Those only two songs that really got me. Other songs I don't really care for. Somehow a viral TikTok song actually caught my interest for once. I'm surprised as you all. This one's Artemis, I like the way you kiss me. Then not. It's alright. Lyrical selection, not the best, but good beat though, and that what gets me in the end. What is this? Another Tommy Richmond hit? At 71, it's still pretty low on the list, I had to put some things in these spots, but, definitely my favorite song of his catalog so far. And I'm not afraid to admit that I actually like it. In this range, I'm pretty proud of liking these songs. Even if they're not as, even if the artist or the song is maybe not be as praised. Number 70. You'd be surprised that Green Day's back with another album, Saviors in 2024. Yes, they ripped off a Pink song of I forget the name of it now, but I'm drunk blank. But Bobby Socks is a good song by Green Day. Yeah, they have a lyrics like "Do you want to be my girlfriend or boyfriend?" It's kind of a weird, yeah, I don't, good for like identity purposes and whatever. What am I trying to say? The song does a good job of about equality, kind of like the lyrics. It's pretty inclusive, I would say. The lyrics, "Do you want me to like girlfriend?" and switching to boyfriend. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's kind of weird for Green Day being the 40s or 50s, how old they are now, making lyrics like that. But overall, the chorus is pretty strong by live and guitar riffs, and that's what I like best. Jason Derulo has an album this year. I mean, as at least a single. Yeah, he knows how to make a catchy song for sure. It's Jason Derulo with Fozzy and Tomo. Apparently, there's a full collaboration list. It's from the islands. I just like the vibe of it. Not much I can say. It's just really I really like the synth part after the chorus, and that's the best part of the song. DJ Muscle is back. He's on a song with Travis Scott, Parking Lot. You know, Definitely the best song I heard about parking lots. Not much to sing about, I would assume, but pretty good song for the most part, so I recommend it. Yeah, it's a radio hit, but you can't, and a good radio hit doesn't hurt at the end of the day. This is an ironic backstory how I found this song. So apparently Ryan G. Moto is the guy behind the Grow Up SpongeBob AI channel. I don't know if it's AI or not, but that's been incredibly viral. You probably heard of it by now. But that's how I discovered Token, by the way. Through this song. So it definitely took me a rabbit hole of both artists, and they have a good catalog for sure. I think Ryan G. Moto makes more of a more drill rap, which is not my favorite genre. Probably least favorite one of them. Anyway, because it's not my thing, but definitely makes it somewhat interesting for sure. Speaking of interesting, at number 68, JPEG Mafia. I just dived into his catalog this year. Definitely makes a lot of interesting um, beats and a lot of beat switches, a lot of interesting production for sure. That's the first thing I would say about him. Really good. I don't know about. I think he has good lyricism for the most part. He shares my birthday, by the way. What a fun fact. Other than that, I do like his music. Good choice for me to find this year. When the Drake and Kendrick beef dropped, a lot of good hits came out, and this one is another side effect of one. Featuring Metro Boomin and Weekend, We Still Don't Trust You. Apparently, it's a sequel track of the original because I can't listen to everything in one year. I listen to a lot of things, but I definitely like this one. It's a really good vibe and thing. It doesn't do too much. Really melodic, not really much rapping around it. I really like the melodic vibe of it for sure. Another album I checked out this year was Kid Cudi's album back in January or something. I think he released singles in January, and I just now know about it. A lot of good songs. Dreams I See. I really recommend it. Definitely one of the catchier rap songs I heard all year. It's just something, it's something for a sidetrack, just something randomly that goes off the album. It's really awesome. And that's my favorite song from him this year. And I say it's a lot. Knowing we're already at 66 on the list. Maybe recently biased, maybe put this one too high, but I think I put this one too low actually on second thought. ASAP Rocky, Taylor Swift with an F, no T. And really good hook, really good video for sure, but this is not a video ranking list, it's just a song ranking list. Definitely one of the most viral songs and all the catchier songs too. So I think it's properly rated for sure. Don't worry, this next one. I got more country music for you. Luke Combs, one of my favorite country artists. Not just right now, but all time. Even though Love in Oklahoma from Twisters, another one from the Twister album, and great song. Country hit as well. Definitely, I want to say my favorite country song of the year, but one of them for sure. Next up, Wage War Magnetic. I like a lot of rock music. I like searching for it when I can. It's hard to keep up with the new rock music, but Billboard doesn't like rock music, other than that new Linkin Park stuff. But ever since the new lead single that's female lead single that's not just rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't really want to listen to the catalog anymore. I just feel like there's distracted just about anything. So as a legacy, but other than that, Wage War's Magnetic is a really good rock song for sure. So, I may not listen to everything that's trending on a rock like radio, but definitely one of my favorites of the year. Next up, Vultures off of Vultures. Yes, the self-titled track off of Vultures 1 and number 62. Kanye West, his works really controversial. He's definitely trying to lean into that, I'm pretty sure, ever since he got quote unquote canceled. You know, say what you want about Kanye West. He's a character for sure. Love him or hate him. He has good music. He has good beats and stuff. Yeah, I don't condone what he does off stage, but he still has a legendary catalog and songs he wrote. And he can't really discredit that at the end of the day. You know what's sweet this year? Hozio has a new song, and it's almost too sweet, too good to be true. That's the name of the song. Not too sweet. And it's a really good song for sure. And yes, it's overplayed, but definitely one of the best songs he ever released for sure. Is it better to take me to church all the time on his catalog? Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say, but definitely I'm glad he's back in the music game. Whatever. His next song is another good one as well. This one is Akon Beautiful Day. Apparently it's not called Akon's Beautiful Day, with his name. And I don't remember what they call it that, but maybe he edited it. But whatever, still a good song. A really good chorus for sure. Akon's back, he's making more music and stuff. So that's good. He doesn't drop too often, I guess, but I always like his voice in music, ever since I heard yeah, ever, ever since I heard the song Don't Matter, I always loved Akon's music. So it's good to see him back for sure. All these songs from here on out, about an 8 out of 10. Speaking of Offspring from Oreo, the next. Offspring, Make It Alright. Yeah, the first song I heard off the new album. I definitely like it. And if I first thought it was Offspring's back. You know, I heard the song Behind Your Walls 2 years ago. It's not as good as that for sure, but definitely they have good music for sure. I definitely like checking them out, like checking good bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers dropping 2 years ago for sure. A lot of old bands when they drop, it's really makes me happy, you know, and that's really good. This may not be what started Kendrick beef for sure, or Drake beef, but definitely was maybe the smoking gun for sure. This just hit 100 million views, believe it or not. This song is definitely like that. Yeah, that's what the title of it. Wish I probably introduced it with a better, but we're doing this off the cuff, off the fly. And this song is definitely interesting for sure. Kendrick voice definitely takes the cake, but every single part of the song is interesting for sure. And the funny thing is, Kendrick goes off subject with the songs that we're about just to go out his way to diss Drake up for it. Say what you want, but that's a pretty crazy way of doing things, if you ask me. Kenny Chesney is back with a new song, Just to Say We Did. It's a great song for sure. Kenny Chesney's definitely back. He never left really. He always makes good country songs whenever he does, and I respect that. He's definitely like one of my favorite country artists of all time. Because ever since he's been singing since the '90s, I think there's a lot of good songs. Just yeah, I can just basically listen to a group of his songs back to back. One of those artists, for sure. Next up, another Kid Cudi song. It's called Wow. Kind of like Post Malone when he released a song called Wow before. But definitely one of the greatest beats. You know, with this type of beat, I don't think you can go wrong behind it. You know, you can literally say, like Kanye said, on Lift Yourself, you know, if you don't know the Scooby Poop lines, and you could probably get away with it. You know, this beat's so good, you know what I mean? And I can say all but good things about this song. This song is seen on one of the worst songs of the year list, apparently, because I watch a lot of music reaction channels. Does it sway my opinion of liking a song? No, it doesn't. This song, Kalani by Jordan, Tunji, I think that's even his name. I'm not good at pronouncing things, so sorry if I butchered it, but definitely really catchy for sure. It's funny how the person he mentions, Kalani, is actually on the remix, which is the one I'm specifically mentioning. Yeah, really good song. However, if I had to give a award to the best country artist of the year, definitely Zach Bryan. He probably took the record. He's also the best country artist of last year too. I definitely like everything he releases for sure. Morgan Wallen's a close second, but he didn't release too many good songs that I really enjoyed or really resonated with this year. Zach Bryan really makes you kind of feel the song for sure. Something. It just kind of feel like something. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of stuff that I would come up with, with melodies I come up with every now and then. You know, really spot with me if I ever want to be a music artist for sure. This next up song is also by Zach Bryan, Oak Island. I can't tell which one I like better, so I'll put this one up the top. I like it a little bit more. Yeah, it's about the. I know there's a show called Course of Oak Island. It, eh, it's an interesting show, but the song I like it though. By the way, that's in Canada, by the way, in case you never knew. Fun fact. Number 52. Ice Keep is my ego. Basically, really good beat for sure. I definitely had speed for this one, was kind of getting late to the video for sure. But it's pretty cool that OG droppers are back. Number 51. 21 Pilots, still definitely the artist of the year this year for me. I liked every one of the songs on the album. They're all on the list. Crazy the first one's number 51. So, Oldie Station, not my least favorite. I can't choose what a favorite or least favorite is, but I had to organize them somehow. So, definitely a good song. Definitely 9 out of 10. Number 50. Gigi Perez, Fable. Apparently she had a Sailor song too. I haven't listened to that one yet. And I tried to do my research on it a little bit, but I had to get this video out, so maybe that's an honorable mention. But I thought she was a new artist. Maybe she is and stuff, but the other song is a pretty big hit though. So Fable is also I like a little bit better though. Honestly, I did hear a little bit of Sailor song, but I don't like it as much. But really good song for sure. Kind of takes you into a vibe experience. If 21 Pilots is artist video, Glass Animals is probably number 2. It's definitely up there because the album has 3 hits on it that we like. Tail in Space, Airlock is also a good song for sure. Least favorite of the album of the hits are the ones I put on the list, but it doesn't mean it's bad by any means. Dominic Fike also had a 2 minute and 16 song. Well, that's an extended version by a fan, but it's actually 1 minute and like 10, 14 seconds. I don't really consider songs as a song, but the hook is so great that I couldn't leave it out of there from this 14 minutes album. So, a great segment from that album for sure. The fact is, it actually has his third or fourth most streamed song in his title catalog, who definitely a fan favorite among his fans as well. Number 47. And Alan Walker and Full Rider has a new song called Young Rider 3. No, it's not a ripoff of the other song you're thinking of. It's actually completely original, so which I really like. Good pick. Next one, 21 Pilots Navigating. The video is one of the best videos I've seen. Definitely not the best when 21 Pilots outdid themselves this year on that very album. But definitely a really good song. One of the better songs of the album. Well, once again, I can't really rank them, so I put them sporadically through here. Next up, Glass Animals are Lost in the Ocean. Quite literally in the song name. It's really a good acoustic song. I like the acoustic version better, but one of my better songs of the year, even though it's only 45. Yeah. Number 44. Rainbow Ken Surprises do song. If you don't know that band, that's a good band to start listening to. The song Daddy Yankee, not, I don't know if it's about the actual single or not. Maybe it's a reference or something, some sort. I don't really pay attention to the lyrics or like the melody, but definitely one of the better songs by Melody for sure. Really kind of takes you into a vibe, kind of takes you into a trance, into a stance. Really good song. He easily may have the worst album of his catalog, according to a lot of people. I haven't listened to it fully, so I can't tell you that for sure. But Love You Forever by, is definitely a really nice, slow, and really caroling song. Nice listen for sure. So definitely a golden gem by Diamond in the Rough for sure. Poison Till has a great hook in his song, and whatever she wants, and also what I want is a song of a good beat and just a good vibe in general. You know, Definitely something I've been playing. I wouldn't say on repeat, but definitely a lot. Don't when the Muffler was released. So telling you that much is a great song. So another song that got stuck in my head a lot is a song about. Well, I can't say that word, but it's about what's it say? Bad acts. Yeah, for sure. But bad lyrics kind of like violent for sure. But Red Rum by 21 Savage, spelled that backwards, you kind of see what the song's about. Yeah, subject matter, and I don't care for it. But beat for sure, one of the best beats I heard this year for sure. Yeah, so that gets me a good beat. Definitely gets me hooked. From 100 million views video to a 1 million view video, Logic 44th level or 40 or 4 for I don't know how do say it, 4 level whatever. But it's a really short under 2 minute track of him basically just kind of spitting, kind of going really fast on a song for have a good flow. And I love a song when that comes from Logic. It kind of reminds me of Perfect when he released that. Great listen. Number 39. Drake as a person, thumbs down, but this song is a thumbs up. It's a great story for the beef, for him to respond, whatever beef aside, it's just a really good beat and really good flow in the song. I really appreciate a good record from Drake at the end of the day. Next up, number 38. The third 21 Pilots song off this list of all, and it's called Backslide, but definitely not on the back of the album. I don't know, it's hard to rank these songs, but I had to put somewhere. Clancy's definitely the album of the year once again, and that's all I can say. For one, I love how the fan base of 21 Pilots always puts weird Easter eggs and puts them together in such a way that I can't really see it, but I love how people knows that. It's really cool relationship between the artists and the fans. Zach Bryan's like way back is next. And this is way forward, way up on my list. Number 37. Another great vibe. A song like even quite make you tear up a little bit if you start thinking about things. One of those songs. He's really good at doing that, by the way. Really good. Next up, 21 Pilots Next Semester. I actually didn't like this song in the first release, but it definitely grew on me. Definitely became my favorite song, one of my favorite songs of the year. Really good for number 36. I like a good slow down, emotional song when it comes to me. Keith Urban released another great song. He always releases great songs. One of my favorite country artists of all time. So many different good ones for sure. A lot of people want trying to be country this year, but it's good to listen to real country this year. You know. Funny thing is, he was born in Australia, so not even a real person from the South, what I mean? But still, and he's still outperforming these people thinking they can do country. Back to 21 Pilots, a great break from, I don't know, before like going to another ramp of fake country musicians like Sabuzi song that's literally number one for 19 straight weeks. But 21 Pilots has a great song, great music video about billboards and stuff, a lot of different company signs, a really great song for rappers. One of my favorite melodies of the year for sure. A wonderful year for music wouldn't be complete without Magic Dragons, you know? So it's hard to say this year was a good one. I think it is, because Magic Dragons has a good song called Eyes Closed. This one definitely had my eyes open, when I heard it. I didn't really care for it at first, but definitely grew on me for sure. Sadly, it's like the only great song from the album. Maybe there's one more, but, definitely stands out as the best single of the album. At one point, I was considering this the best song of the year. I had some help from Post Malone, Morgan Wallen, but it got overplayed a little bit, so it got bugged out a little bit. But still, number 32. The little beat in the interlude part is definitely the best part. One of my favorite rock songs is "You Again," and as a new artist, Dead Poet Society featuring The Warning. Really great song. I really love a song that really just gets your attention, with a great rock riff. I can say much more about the song, but I have to keep it quick. Kodak Black sings about shampoo. Back in February, this probably was my favorite song of the year, just because the beat alone. Kodak Black, very controversial, did some really controversial things to look into it, but maybe not be a best person, like more way off the studio, out of the studio, but into the studio, makes solid stuff for the most part. Another Tone Pilot song, At the Risk of Feeling Dumb. Maybe I am, though, at the risk of feeling dumb and making this list. A lot of controversial opinions, and people want to think I'm crazy and I putting Taylor Swift in or something. Album kind of underwhelming for 21 Pilots. Once again, best album of the year, so. Los Angeles Creatures Heaven is next. It's hard to say this is my favorite song off the album. The entire album was really good. I can't do a clean cut favorite, but definitely a good one for sure. This is a great song. We're definitely in the top 27 now, so all these songs are 10 out of 10s at this point. The Eminem's Temporary, emotional music video. He's becoming a grandfather now. It seems like Eminem, kind of grew up with him, I mean, even though he was literally making music before I was born, everybody has that vibe, how Eminem doesn't really changes, but he doesn't change at the same time. Has a lot of emotional songs. He has a lot of good, powerful songs. A lot of every song you can think of, any type of genre. Eminem probably has one about some type of meaning or form or style. Definitely one of the greatest rappers of all time, if not the greatest. Does he have the album of the year? Hard to say. Definitely one of them. Next up, 21 Savage, Nina. Oh, yeah, I should have put this one below Eminem actually in second form, but too late to do that now. Another great song for sure. Great beat, carries the towel thing. I really like the 21 Savage, the Travis Scott feature. Yeah, both features are really awesome. Yeah, Metro Boom produced it, so no wonder why it sounds so good. Next up is 21 Pilots Snap Back to Reality. What below goes Gravity? Oh wait, that's Eminem, sorry. So Snap Back is one of my favorite songs of the album for sure. He actually says it's a backslide. And I'm not the best vocalist off the cuff, but it's funny. Maybe intended, not intended to backslide another song off the album, but it's pretty funny as well. I know, but really good song. Don't get me wrong. Next up, probably the most surprising music artist out of all of them, by just like appearance or my impression of them. Pete and Boss, I don't know how to pronounce it. Two old guys, senior citizens, do rap songs. Really impressive. They sound like they're young, sound like anybody else in the industry. Really impressive duo. Check them out if you can. And the craziest thing is, they actually had a feature from T-Pain on the album. The next one up is J. Cole's Hunting Rabbits, yeah, with a W. Probably my favorite of Bite to Eat Radle. I was gonna put 7 Minute Drill on here, but I didn't really care for it as much. It just barely missed the cut. Once again, emotional songs will definitely be one of my favorites. Playing Past the Cleaving is definitely one of those songs that will definitely be a tearjerker, definitely by the video for sure. 10 out of 10. Juice WRLD Empty Out Your Pockets, definitely my best Juice WRLD song off of his release by far. surprised they didn't release it on like Legends Never Die or something. His first posthumous album or second, I don't even know, but definitely one of my favorites. Next up, Asake, I think that's pronounced his name, and Central C Wave. That beat is Daft Punk styled. Daft Punk's one of my favorite artists of all time. Sad thing they retired, but definitely feel like I want to say they had a hand in it, but I doubt it. But really awesome that that beat really kind of reminds me, takes me back for sure. Eminem's Toby. I can't argue if this or Houdini's better, but I definitely put this below it, but it's definitely one of my favorite songs of the year, 10 out of 10. All the voices are awesome for Baby Sean, Little Sean, I mean Big Sean, and Eminem. God, I don't even know what I'm saying. Next up, Eminem's Houdini. The Abracadabra from Steve Milburn, sample actually works well for this. I thought I would hate it, but objectively, it may sound bad. A lot of people make fun of it, but I love it. I feel like it's his ultimate Eminem comeback song. I just love how it opens up with different lyrics for sure, but I have to keep it short. I have to keep this list going. Another song, I can probably say what more about, but I'll probably keep it simple. DJ Khaled's Paradise with Fat Joe and Anita, really good beat for sure. Fat Joe has best voices, for a song like this, and definitely has the best flow for a song and beat pairing of this year. If I had to choose. Okay, this is probably my most controversial pick ever. People trash this song more than anything else I've seen in my life. But Ty Dolla Sign, Kanye, Playboy Cardi, What's the Kid, apparently all on the song. I didn't know they're all on the song apparently, but definitely Kanye's lyrics are objectively terrible for sure. But of course that ooh doo 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 to get that the people everybody knows that it's a great beat. Now we're in the big ones. Number 15. So Dominic Fike's biggest song of his album, in my opinion, and I think most of his fans, even though the other song, Mrs. has his fourth biggest song to date of all time, according to his Spotify streams. But but this one I think is my favorite though. The song's got high grades. I like the cook. It's really distorted. It's kind of hard to hear the lyrics, but definitely a really great song, one of my favorite songs of the year. I have heard it recently, so maybe some recently about bias, but a good song. Now, my favorite Kendrick song is Euphoria, number 14. And no, I'm not referencing this Netflix show. I've never seen it though. I heard it's has a lot of fans. But no, I'm talking about the 6 minute Kendrick track that definitely reminds me of Family Ties or the Beat Switches, which is one of my favorite Kendrick songs of all time. I think he's best at those multiple beat switches and those hard hitting flows as well. It's my favorite song off of the Tao diss track battle. I would put Family Matters here, but I forgot to put it on the list. Definitely an honorable mention for sure. Number 13. Number 13, Jack White, That's How I'm Feeling. Definitely one of my favorite songs of yours for sure. You know, the Jack White album, definitely, this was by far the best song, on the project. He doesn't miss when it comes to his music, and this proves it, yeah, it's just, he's one of my favorite music artists to listen to, especially recently. Alex Wallen, Bowling Down. He has like 2 million subscribers, almost 3, but I never heard of this guy before. Definitely a new artist to me, but maybe he's been making music for a while. Maybe this hit was really big or something. Let me check the views. 2.3 million, not as big as I thought. But I've actually found it from the Billboard chart from week to week. But definitely number 12 song. Definitely has an argument for number one though. Everything from here on out definitely has that distinction. Well, this song lyrics definitely resonate with me, and it's just 10 out of 10 for me. Speaking of new artists, or new artists to me, I like to shine light on individual small artists for sure. outside the mainstream. This one for sure, I discovered this year. Her name's Madeline May. She makes a lot of good music. Cyclist songs are for my favorite overall EP this year. She released 7 songs, but 6 on the EP for sure. Yeah, really whimsical song. That's the best way I can describe her music. Kind of an all in one bundle, kind of a word to describe for sure. Yeah, she has really good lyricism for sure. Definitely, if I had to give the award for best lyricist of like best lyrics of 2024, it definitely goes to her. Yeah, not the smallest artist I listened to this year, but yeah, probably the one of the most talent for sure. Best potential. I can say a lot more about it, but we'll keep it there. Number 10. Speaking of on a contrast of all of it, Benton Boone is a pretty new artist, but he's been singing for a little bit. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, he has all of the attention with 400 million views on Beautiful Things. Yeah, really, it starts off really short and really nice, and then it goes to like crazy hard rock, well, not hard rock, but it goes into a kind of a rock like chorus. Something that's unique. I never seen quite like in a song before. Unique hook. I know I can say a lot about it. Well, some people hate it for some reason, but with 400 million views in 11 months, I think a lot of people love it, and I think I like it too. Well, definitely could have been my favorite number one song of the year, which I was thinking on, but but there's some songs that definitely grown on me since then. Oh, yeah, number 9, I mean. 21 Pilots, Paladin Straight, my second favorite song of the album. And I debated which was my favorite. And I kind of like Paladin Straight because I didn't really like it at first, I have to admit. But then I just like the music video is probably the best music video they ever released, in my opinion. Just crazy shots and all of that. But other than that, the song itself, it just takes you on a journey, kind of. Just kind of it's the finale, not just of the album, but of the full album series they kind of did. They have a little bit of world or story, between all four of the last albums. Yeah, it's too much to explain here, but definitely, what really impactful among the fans and on a greater aspect. And then they didn't disappoint by how amazing the presentation is and the chorus and this the flow of the song. Once again, it kind of tells the story, brings you along on a journey. Number 8 is actually my favorite song on Toilet Parts album. For me, the choice is like on a standalone song, on a standalone hit. If I would like explain it like on itself, Overcompensate with Toilet Parts is probably my favorite song by them, but it's slightly edges overpowered and straight for sure. But yeah, it was a hard choice because Paladin Sway has more impact and more things about behind it. Fun fact about Overcompensate, released on New no, Weekday. I don't know why I said New Year's. At least on Weekday, so that's a cool distinction. Yeah, so it's one of my probably going to go down as my favorite songs. I want to say of all time, but one of my favorite songs if I had like a top 300 list or something. It's that good. Something I would forever be listening to for time and years forward for sure. Like 10 out of 10 for like every one of the songs in the top 15 kind of. Number 7. So this one I was actually expecting to go higher on, honestly. Falling in Reverse is a controversial band. Ronnie Radke done some bad things, bad person in real life, but this Joey Will collab, All My Life, is definitely has a really hard chorus, like a hard rock chorus that really kind of gets you into it, and I love songs that really get you into that feeling. This song, maybe people who would hate the band, no matter what you think, really, what your opinions are. I like a good song, I hear a good song, and I love it, it's just really good vibe. I know I use that word a lot, but stay with me here. Number 6. I think this is my highest. No, it's not my highest rated rap song of the year, but The song seems simple for the most part. Eminem and LL Cool J, Autogram. You know, yeah, this one was eventually wasn't official. It was kind of a leak for a little bit, but when it became official, I finally listened to it. Didn't want to spoil it for me, and it didn't disappoint. It seems so simple with the beat and with the flows, but everything they do on it, it's perfect. Nothing, even in the slightest type of problem with it. All the way go to other laptops. Maybe there's a little bit, or maybe something they could have done better, but these things completely like do everything they needed to on this one. But not my favorite laptop of the year, which I'll get to in a minute. Before we get into top five, though, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I've spent a long time making this video a little bit. A lot of edits and stuff. Well, not too much really, but it took a lot of storage on my phone for sure. So, literally put everything I got into this, making this a list. So it'll be appreciated. Number five. Pink Skies by Zach Bryan. I thought this was gonna be number one of the year. Maybe. Maybe in retrospect, it might make a retrospective list and my opinions will change. You know, I'm planning to do that every other year in music history, or notable music history. And the song definitely actually made me tear up before I ever heard it. Zach Bryan's just really good at doing that. I say it once, say it again. Favorite country artist of this year, not my favorite overall artist of this year, but, you know, yeah, just no one makes music quite like he does, for sure. Number four, my bad. It's ironic that I said was Zach Bryan's best country artist of the year, even though Morgan Wallen is technically as the highest country artist on this list. It's a collaboration with Money by Yo, and this is not the first time that he made a rap collab with a rapper. Let's go to phrase that better, but he made Broadway Goes a Little Dog, and that was one of my favorite songs of 2022. And this song is ugly battle, the Whiskey song. Yeah, it's really good. I just really like the beat, of course, and Money by Yo's was is flawless. And everything about the song can't no complaints. And that's why it's really hard to make a top five for yo. But I'm trying my best, but you rank them yo. It's really hard up to this point. Number three. Even though that last song wasn't really specifically a country song or rap song, and it's hard for me to decide. But this next song is definitely a rap song. Big Dogs by Humankind. I don't know how to pronounce it. Indian group, Indian rapper. And this is mega viral. 186 million views. When I found it late, I was like, what was this? 5.8 million likes on the song. You know, yeah, the opening verse kind of reminds me of Knife Talk from Drake and 21 Savage. But, from the music video, we're not really judging on music videos, just songs, but everything is just crazy, mind blowing. Just it fits perfectly well with it. Just with the beat. The beat is definitely the best part of it, of course. That's what makes the song complete. I just crazy how good a group that I never even heard about till now is just at this song. It's just 10 out of 10 for me. But it's not better than number two. Even I wasn't expecting this one to be at number two, honestly. It's my favorite song of the Grass Battle Animals album. So before I said I couldn't definitively put it up a pick, I forgot that I put this one number two. Show Pony by Grass Animals. The beat and all of that, just the flow, it takes you on a journey once again. I use that off once again. What was I saying? I'll use that, it has a lot of symbolism. The music video has aliens in it, but don't worry about that. The music video is kind of weird, but, Glass Animals is kind of right down that kind of vibe. But, they always make really good sounds of production, and this really takes me through a ride, like all the other my favorite songs by them. Is it my favorite Glass Animals song of all time? No. They definitely have a lot more, and Heatwave is not my favorite. There's a lot more from the 2016 album that's way cool, and I appreciate more, but one of my favorite groups of all time, though. And Show Pony just definitely, it growing on me a lot this year. Definitely, probably, you know, ship my opinion. If any song grew on me the most, probably is this song. But it's not better than number one, though. And finally, number one. I debated will be number one for a while. Anything in the top 12-ish could have had an argument for it, but I thought about it again, and three times for that matter, and I definitively have my number one spot. For 2023 was definitive. For this one, it was very hard to choose one, but I did. Number one, Miles Smith and Stargazing. So this song is just once again, it just kind of takes you on a journey, kind of makes you space out and just think about it. Like I said so many times before, so many other songs. Great lyrics, keeps it simple. A new artist, I don't think I've ever seen him before. 201,000 subscribers, I'm guessing is his breakout hit. Gotta be. You know, and, there's nothing bad I can say about the song. 10 out of 10 every sense of the word. It might be even one of my 100 favorite songs of all time. Maybe that good. It's gonna be a certified classic for sure. At least for me. Something I'm gonna remember for years, and definitely gonna be the shining moment of the year. So all that considered, it has to be number one. And that's all for the list, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want if you want a deeper breakdown of the top 50 or top 25, I will probably give my extra thoughts on that if you want to. And I'll probably be dropping other videos or like individual reactions if you want that. Or if you want a 2023 review, I'll do that in retrospect, but it'll take me a while. I'll definitely do little edits to suggest a draft videos and seeing the format and seeing, if anybody likes it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.